As you remember in the previous video, we talked about liability insurance for your personal auto policy and the different limits that are included, as well as also discussing about those limits and how they apply. Well, in this video, we're going to talk a little bit more about what those different limits mean and what's included in those. You know, there's two primary parts to the policy. One of them is the bodily injury and one is the property damage. These are the different parts to that coverage section of the liability insurance. So under the bodily injury, that's going to be any sort of medical bills, doctor visits, any sort of rehabilitation that someone would have to have after an injury or an accident, any sort of prescription drugs, any transportation to the hospital if an ambulance had to be requested, or maybe maybe a helivac had to be called in. All those different things, as well as some of the other things that could be residual, such as lost wages for this person. Maybe it's disability income because maybe they become incapacitated and they can't work in either work in the same field that they did before. All these things fall underneath that category of bodily injury. We've all been to the doctor or to the hospital lately, and we watch, but we've seen how expensive it is to be admitted into the hospital. It is very expensive, and you can run into a lot of costs really quickly. So you got to make sure that you got adequate coverages there. Well, that second part of the policy is the property damage. Now, the property damage is going to be anything such as a car, a truck, trailer, a tree, a building, a house, a fence. Any of the contents inside of that building or inside of the car. All these different things are going to fall underneath property damage. Now, if you have shopped for a car lately, a new vehicle, it is very difficult to find a vehicle that's going to be under $50,000 anymore. They're getting much more expensive. Inflation is going up more and more. It's just a lot of the newer vehicles are very expensive. And if you've only got $50,000 in property damage limits, you could run out of limits really quickly if you had an accident with another vehicle. A few things I want you to consider when you're considering your liability limits are, number one, which is probably the most important, is these limits are there for your protection. They are there to protect you financially and to protect you and to provide you with legal counsel in the event that you need it. So if you need to save money somewhere, this is number two, is don't save it here. Usually liability limits from one level to the next is very insignificant as far as the cost. So try not to save there. There's much smarter areas that you can save money, such as your comprehensive and collision deductible, or maybe removing medical payments, or maybe some of the other coverages. There's lots of different options there if you need to do so. But just, make sure that you remember these are there for your protection. The third thing I want you to consider is, remember that your liability limits, that is the maximum. Anything over that, you're going to be responsible for it. So make sure you have enough limits that justify, the risk that you have, maybe protects your assets, but also obviously it's got to fit into your budget. Well, I hope this video has been helpful to you. I appreciate you watching. Give us a call anytime we can help you. You can call us or text us at 318-336-5202. Also look us up on Facebook or go to our website at readinsla.com. We'll be glad to help you out with your insurance. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.